Gordon, I got a question for you. Why so many people fancy about the big gongs? Big gong is so heavy and so expensive. Is that really, compared to the medium-sized gong, is that really, cost performance is so high?
Well, I'm just waiting for you to interrupt me, actually, before I start.
Okay, so please subscribe our video and press the bell and give a thumb up because we got more story to share with you every week.
I think really, Yi Ling, what you're talking about are not large gongs, you're talking about very large gongs.
Yeah, 50 inches
I
up.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a studio here looking at a 42-inch gong, which is large enough to carry around. Actually, it's the biggest size gong that I can carry around on my own, just about. And 42 inch. What are we talking about? A 42-inch gong? What does that mean? It's the diameter. It's how much it is across the face of the gong. So it's pretty large, but that is large.
Yeah.
We're talking about very
extra large.
extra large. Yeah. An extra large. Well, I suppose we'd start at 50-inch, wouldn't we?
Yes.
And you know what a 50-inch gong sounds like, don't you?
Yeah.
I think you've played one. You've played one in England, and I fancy you've also played a 60-inch gong in England. They were both made by Paiste, who are the foremost, at least European maker that make very large gongs. And we've got a short little snapshot of the 50-inch gong.
My first question is why people fancy? What's a big gong? What's so attractive to many gong players? Although it's very difficult to move the gong, very heavy.
The very large gongs. I think it's the low. How low they go, basically. I mean, they create these extraordinarily powerful low sound waves merely because of their size. It can be the most immersive experience that you will ever have. And I think that's what people like the most.
How was the bigger, the more powerful? Only one stroke.
Well, as I say, when we're talking about power, what are we talking about? I think really we're talking about these ultra low sound waves that are created by the mere size of them. And of course, the not only the size, but kind of it also means that I don't like to use the word loud or powerful, but they just have this. They have this impact on the listener, which is really profound. I mean, it is power, I guess, very powerful.
Another thing is the big gong one stroke can sound very long time. Right?
We did this, in fact, talking about the 50-inch gong that we played in England, the Paiste gong. We did a test, didn't we, to see how long it could last, and we got well beyond. I mean, we got fed up with it, and it was still after 2 minutes, and you could still the microphones could still pick it up. Never mind the human ear, you could still hear it, and of course the vibration would go on for much longer than that.
Yes.
So we've actually done that. the 60-inch Paiste gong that you played, which is owned by a colleague of mine in England.
Yes.
And it used to belong to the Paul McCartney Centre in Liverpool. Is a specially thin.
Yeah, very thin. Very sensitive.
For the size of the gong, it's extraordinary how thin it is, and so it's very, very sensitive, and that's got a memorable sound.
Yes.
Very rare. The Paiste company make very large gongs up to 80 inches in diameter.
I think they are making 90.
I don't know,
Okay.
maybe so, but I mean, if you go to their website, you can order an 80-inch gong if you've got enough money to do
Really
it.
custom made in 90.
But certainly, I played an 80-inch gong. I have to say that it was a bit disappointing.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it was the context or the surroundings or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the most extraordinary experience I ever had with a 60-inch, very large Paiste gong was when another one of my colleagues in England, a renowned teacher, obtained a 60-inch Paiste gong and invited me round to hear it. And I was placed between the gong and the wall in her living room. The gong was sort of a foot in front of me, and then the wall was behind me. And she played it gently, and having this experience where I was really feeling these sound waves, very up close and personal. It was extraordinary memory.
Yes.
But to move on, we talked about Paiste a lot. There are other European manufacturers now who make them. Tone of Life makes 60-inch gongs, and I had the privilege of playing one of their early Cosmo gongs a few years back in Poland. We've got a short clip of that. They're beautiful gongs, the big Tone of Life gongs.
Yeah, we watched the video first, right? Extra large.
You said why do I think you asked why do gong players like the big gongs and why do gong listeners like them? I think gong players like them for the same reason that they give out this extraordinarily powerful low end, but also it's interesting how sensitive they can be. I was talking about this extra thin Paiste example of a Paiste 60-inch gong from Liverpool, but even the normal kind of thicker ones also can be extraordinarily sensitive. You play with a flumi, for example, it can really be very sensitive, or even with the smaller mallets, can be really, you think of the big gongs being played with the big hefty mallets, but of course you can play with smaller mallets and very sensitive sounds that they make. Indeed, that way too. Absolutely.
But I know you have ever played very big gong, right?
Well, even bigger than that.
Yes.
Well, actually, I have. I didn't know that such a thing. You were talking about stories about special editions of Paiste 90-inch gongs. Well, I've actually played a 90-inch gong.
No, I have to correct you. That's 80 inches.
Was it?
Yeah, 80. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I think
I'm
it was 5 feet across. How big is that?
80. Yeah, 80.
Oh, was it? Which one are we talking about?
We're talking about the big gong. You play the gong.
Oh, in Taiwan.
Taiwan, yeah.
Oh well, whether it's 80 or 90, it's
80.
enormous, and it was made in a very interesting way. One of the things that makes them very expensive, the big gongs, is the amount of manufacturing process that goes into them. There are actually, I think, I've seen clips of the manufacturing process. I'm not sure whether they were making a really large gong, whether it was just like a 40-inch or something. But even with a 40-inch gong, you've got half a dozen blokes involved in them, moving them around. They are so hefty. And then the hammering that they take. I mean, we're talking about huge, great big sledgehammers they use to unbelievably to knock them, ultimately to tune them. But it's really heavy metal processing, you could say. But the way that whether it's 80 or 90-inch gong, I'm not sure, that I played in Taiwan a while back, was made in 3 separate sections, wasn't it?
The alloy, the maker imported from Japan.
Welded together. You can just about see the welds in it, but remarkable that it held together that way. And it's a huge, great big thing, absolutely large. I mean, I stand to be corrected. I thought it was bigger than 80-inch. If you say it was, then
80,
fair enough. But that is a gong with in the Southeast Asian tradition, with the boss in the middle, with a raised centre, and yes, it was an extraordinary gong.
So how many, as you can remember, how many major gong makers make extra large, 50 inches up gongs?
We're talking in Taiwan about we're talking about Taiwan about a craft maker. Let's make this clear. But in Europe, certainly we have Paiste who've been making them for some years. Mine or don't make anything much bigger than 40-inch, I don't think. But the new gong makers in Europe, I believe, certainly Tone of Life makes 60-inch gongs. And Sona, the Sona factory, Sona and Tone of Life are partners, if you like, and the Sona factory, that's where they come from in Germany, northwest Germany, and they make 60-inch gongs, variety of them, earth gongs and were their equivalent of symphonic gong, Cosmo gongs. And I believe that Gongland, Rolf Nisch is beginning to make 60-inch gongs as well. I believe so. I haven't heard them, but I think so too. And he comes from the line of Paiste gong makers, famous gong makers.
I'm very impressed that how our friend to deliver, to carry the big gong in her lorry, right? Very big, that's true. Very big. The van couldn't put that big gong.
When she got that gong, she couldn't drive, and she was unemployed, I think, and became transformed through having this extraordinary gong. Finding a way of purchasing it, finding a way of transporting it. I mean, she has some help, obviously, but it's a major undertaking transporting those things around. That's for sure.
I hope every gong player they already got their dream gong, no matter big or small, is famous brand name or is the small maker. So thank you very much for replying my question. We'll see you next time.
Bye for now.